DJ in Agworth, Georgia. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com. But call me Mo Better, because I may have seen Mo Better, looking Mo Better, when I cut the new Transitions XTRAactive Gray with the gold flash mirror for your Versace 1257. Of course, the hard shell Versace case comes with the Versace cleaning cloth. And this is the frame 1257. It is color 1436, which is the gold, and a 55 eye size. Classic black and gold from Versace. It is covered with the Greco emblem, as it is called. Versace has the Medusa, which is on each temple tip, but then that is the Greek architecture or print. If you remember my Versace from years ago, it has that same pattern on there. These frames, actually, I think have been discontinued in all but black, but I love the brown and tortoise. I wear a lot of browns and blues, but that's my old frame. But yeah, that is the Greco emblem. Very unique, stylish, the way it wraps around the frame. Versace's always going to push the style envelope. But let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses, one of which says Versace. Put the frame into the tracing element of my blocker. Program the shape 2167 into the computer. You are installment 2167 of my 327 million volume series of making a pair of glasses for everyone in America. So stay tuned for the other 327 million videos. Hit the start button. The little stylus is going to pop up. Go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy any genuine, authentic Versace frame, and you will receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have any unused health savings account, flex dollars, or vision insurance, when you submit my receipt, you will get reimbursed for your allowances or for your purchase. In just a moment, this shape will pop up onto the computer. And come on, pop for me, pop, pop. That is the shape of the lens that I'll be cutting. Move on to the next screen with all the diagnostics. I have to enter your pupillary distance, which is 33 for your right eye. The computer starts at 32.5, so I only need to tap the plus button once. I do want to raise the optical center height up to 23. And we can go ahead and get your lenses prepped. Your right eye is -1, -1.25 at 165. Turn the axis wheel to 165. And let me take a moment. Usually when you see me take a lens out of a paper packet, these are known as stock lenses. And I can get a lot of different lenses in these. I can get them cheaper and quicker. There's still certain lenses that have to be made one pair at a time, and the Transitions XTRAactive with the mirror coatings are like that. It takes 2 weeks. It's like you're standing in line at the cafeteria with your tray, and you got to stand in line for 2 weeks. There's no way to speed it up. This is only done in one lab in America, and a lot of places don't offer it, but if you want to get it from me, it takes 2 weeks. Now, here's the other thing. DJ, of course, you get one free pair of clear single vision lenses when you buy the frame. You can get the lenses without that. If you supply your own frame, then the lens charge is $49.99. But he paid the upgrade to high index 167. He called me on the phone. I was literally heading to the airport. I was about to leave for vacation to come home when he called me. I take the phone with me on vacation. I answer it wherever I go. But he does not have a strong prescription, but he likes high index lenses. He wanted to pay the extra $59.99 to thin them out as much as possible, but also it's still going to be, you know, about 30% lighter weight than the polycarbonate. Since he wears them all the time, I said okay. By the way, he wanted me to give a shout out to his lovely wife. Tell her to get on board with these mirrored lenses. And of course, once she sees how good you look in them, you know she's going to have to get a pair. By the way, these do come in silver, gold, green, blue, red, and pink. Just in case she's a pink girl, we can make that happen too. But oh yeah, the power of your lenses. So let's turn the axis wheel to 165. I've already done that. Put the power drum. Let's always make sure everything's on 0. Put it on -1. Put the lens in, rotate it. Now I had a 50-50 chance of grabbing the right or the left lens. I would rotate it and it would stay fuzzy because your left lens is a -50. Only one lens will come into focus. That's what I'm looking for. Find the optical center of your lens. Check your astigmatism correction. Now this lens is upside down because it was about to dot the lower part. Every lens has the same power on top and bottom, so I'm going to rotate it around. Oops, I'm back to that. Let's go back to -1. Raise it up. Find the geometric center of your lens where it has been decentered for you. That's what happens when they're custom made. I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses as well as on my hand. Alright, let's put some more ink in here. Come on, ink. Inky, inky, inky. Good way to make a mess fast. Put the cap back on. Here's another teaching moment. So here's plastic. This is what a plastic lens sounds like. Here's what a polycarbonate lens sounds like. Polycarbonate is a little tinnier than plastic. That has a little bit more bass. Polycarbonate a little higher pitch. Back to plastic. And now the high index plastic. Even higher than poly. And once you're an optician, you have to learn the sounds of these things. You got to know these things as an optician. And when you're king, you have to know whether it's an African swallow or a European swallow. All the Monty Python fans out there will know that. You got to know these things when you're king. So, let's find out. We're back on the right lens. We are. Okay. Put 3 dots on your lenses. Make sure that's soaked in there good. Getting a lot of emails. 4 emails since my last video. Where'd my pen go? Here it is. Let me darken those. And that is the right lens. Let's do the same thing now for the unright lens. Turn the axis wheel to 175. Put the power drum on -50. Rotate it until the sphere comes into power. That is the top half of the lens. Put the lens clamp down. Decenter it perfectly. -50. Let's go ahead and check the astigmatism correction. -150 gives us a total of 2. Now I'll explain all that a little later. Put the 3 dots on your lenses. Darken those so you can see them at home. We're going to label this one L, which in Latin stands for not right. And if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. You moaned at that joke, but you'll be telling it tomorrow. I know you will. So, this is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. Yes, that is ink. Inky, inky, inky. By the way, here's something personal. I like to watch motivational videos. There's times that I need that little extra edge to keep going. Some days there's some long days, long nights. Being an entrepreneur, you know, can be frightening. Days filled with self-doubt. There's a guy out there named Inky Johnson, I-N-K-Y Johnson. He used to play football for Tennessee. Guy has unbelievable stories. Unbelievable. If there's any days, and there are days where I have my pity parties, if something's not going right. In fact, I can tell you, I just started manufacturing my own frames. I went to a Vision Expo out in Vegas and ordered from 4 different manufacturers. One of them, they say to look at the pattern carefully because they're going to go to the printers, and I just kind of quickly went past it, and one of the logos I asked for, requested, came in backwards. Not is it going to be another 8 weeks to make more, but I'm going to have to pay it. It's my fault. The blame stops with me. The good thing about everything being my fault, that means it can be corrected. And I can't blame anyone else. The blame stops with me. The buck stops with me. But there are those days where I just want to crawl up in a ball and say, why me? Where Inky Johnson, It makes me quit feeling sorry for myself real quick and gets me back in the saddle knowing that I can conquer the world. And yes, today was one of those days. I was on the phone with the manufacturers of one of the frames trying to get everything corrected. Turns out I just have to order another right temple where the logo got turned around backwards here. I'm going to order a ton of right temples, take the one that's incorrect off, put the other one on there, and then it'll be going. In the next coming videos, I'll tell you more and more about the frames that I'll be manufacturing, because I realize I'm just a cover band. I'm putting lenses in other people's frames, and I realize I want to write my own songs. But Inky Johnson, by the way, I got off on a tangent there, didn't I? So let's pull the paperweight and make the black side sticky. That little silver button is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there. Get everything lined up. One more thing I wanted to say though. It's good that I've overcome these obstacles, that I face these obstacles, because you learn from your mistakes, you learn from failures. I don't lose, I learn. And the other thing I realized that it's not just me, my competitors. Eventually someone's going to try and copy my idea. Same thing's going to happen to them. There's a good chance they will quit, get discouraged, and give up easily and quit, knowing there's going to be extra time, extra money to keep going. But if it happened to me, it's going to happen to them. And it's good to know that I will not be defeated by this. So, all right, is that TMI? You've heard enough? All right, let's get back to work. So the 3 dots are lined up. It tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly. I'm going to hit this button. The arm's going to come down, place a block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Pull the paperweight to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet. Change the pupillary distance to 34.5 for the left eye. It has mirrored the right. We're going to go to 34.5, same optical center height. Got a little extra speck on here. I want to make sure which dot is which. So get everything lined up in there perfectly. Make sure the lens is large enough, and it is. Now we place the block onto the left lens. Now we can come down here to the lensometer. Let me activate this. Job ID number 2167. 2167. These are, I need to change from polycarbonate to high index, which means water will spray onto the lens. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen, but I am going to put a light safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens. High index material is thinner, but it's a little bit more brittle, so I want to put a safety bevel on the front as well as a slightly deeper one on the back convex surface of the lens. Let me pick up the right lens this time, press the magnet on there. By the way, the cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel that's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper. This wheel in the center, that channel, that little bevel, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens. Now the magnet's going to do its job a second time. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck, or by now you know I like to call it the Charles, because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. Hit the green button, which is start. The door closes, the clamp will shut. It's going to trace the right lens, starting off at first to make sure it's large enough to go into the frame. And you can see as it's tracing the shape of the right side of the frame. And then the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, essentially giving you the best cosmetic look. Now here's something you don't normally see in my videos. Water is spraying onto the lens. It does that for the duration of the cutting cycle for plastic, high index plastic, and Tribex. One other thing that you can't tell, these stink. High index lenses have a sulfur inside the lens, and it literally smells like rotten eggs now. But your lenses are the Transitions XTRAactive Gray. You can get them in gray or brown with one of 6 mirror colors: silver, gold, green, blue, red, or pink. The other nice thing about high index and plastics, they cut very fast considered next to poly. So it's just about to put the bevel onto the lens. But the Transitions XTRAactive have 100% UVA and UVB protection. They also have the ability to block 50 to 70% of the harmful blue light emitted from today's electronic devices, such as cell phones, tablets, computer screens, and of course the most the object that emits the most blue light, the sun, the source of all our life. But it also has its own proprietary anti-glare coating on the back surface of the lens, so no additional anti-glare needs to be purchased. Mirror coating on the front, anti-glare on the back. And so it's onto the bevel wheel, getting the V-shaped bevel. Out comes a little lever. At the end of that lever is a spinning disc. That's what's going to apply the safety bevel, smoothing off any rough edges left over from the cutting surface on the front surface of the lens. And then going to put a slightly steeper bevel on the back surface. Should any portion of this lens protrude from the back surface of the frame and come into contact with the cheek, although highly unlikely with nose pads, the nose pads create separation from the frame. Plastic frames sit closer in because they have no nose pads, and of course if you wanted to have these move farther away, you pull back on these nose pads, causing the frame to sit farther from the face. Push them inward towards the metal, it forces them to sit closer. But also this strengthens the tensile strength of the edge of the lens. As I mentioned, the high index, with the pros come the cons. It is thinner. Now polycarbonate is thinner and is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. High index plastic is 30% thinner and lighter than polycarbonate. But because it is harder and thinner, it is a little bit more brittle. So, and just at the edges where it has been cut. And so that's why I put a slightly heavier bevel on the back surface of the lens, and I put one on the front of every high index and plastic lens as well, because that strengthens and reinforces the edge. Now one thing I want to do is, you have a Phillips head screwdriver. I'm going to do a little bit of, I have a very tiny Phillips head. Do a little bit of lefty-loosey. Hold the frame upside down. I don't want the screw to fall out onto the tray. By the way, if anyone out there ever changes the lens in a metal frame, grab a baking dish, a glass or metal one, grab a t-shirt or dish towel, put it in there, because if the screw falls out and hits a hard surface, it could bounce off the table onto the floor. Do you know how hard it is to find screws on this floor? So this will soften the blow. I'm going to do a little bit more. The frame has now come apart. I have the screw head facing up so it does not fall out. Tuck the lens in. Make sure it's in all the way. Putting my thumb over the screw head, I'm going to use my left lens to verify that it is into the frame all over. I'm going to start it off to get the thread started, and then I'm going to move down here to a rubber block to put your frame against something soft as I push on it. I do not want to use a hard surface that can scratch or mar the finish of your frame. And I didn't come this far just to screw up tightening a screw. So that's in there good. Let's flip that over to L. Put the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, or tonight I'm calling it the DJ. Hey DJ, play that song for me. Hit the green start button. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts, the lens will be traced by the two white styluses again as it traces the left side this time. Oops, there we go, I got ahead of myself. And just like before, measuring the thickness to know where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, and this is why DJ wanted to upgrade to the high index. He has no edge thickness whatsoever. Now, I don't try and upsell anyone. I gave him the exact what it would be, and he said, hey, I wear these things all the time. I love how high index lenses are that much thinner. I can't blame him, he's right. So take the block off. I don't want to have to charge him any more money. I don't want to have to cut high index because these things stink. If there were smell-o-vision, you would know. Imagine what rotten eggs smell like. That's what it smells like in here. So I'm going to come down here to my lensometer, turn the axis wheel back to 165, put it in over this black dot. Read the power. I am getting -1 exactly, halfway between 0 and 2. That's where you find 1. That's because -1. You are nearsighted. Without your glasses off, you can see everything up close. So you need 4 steps of far-sighted correction to make everything the correct size. Now, once it's the correct size, you need an additional 5 steps of astigmatism correction. Uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. Sorry, I gotta scratch my head there. Sorry, I'm gonna scratch my head. All right, I know that's nauseating. So you have two curves on your eye. Spherical curve this way, which is -1. You have another 1 1/4 diopters 90 degrees away here. And that's how we line it with those two curves to make everything nice and crisp. Think of it as the fine-tune knob. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob from 0 to 90 to 180. We're going to stop just shy of the 180 at 165. Now your left eye, you only need 2 steps of farsighted correction, but you need 6 steps of astigmatism correction turned to the 175th meridian. So let's check the second curve. That comes into power at 2 1/4. 1 tick mark going away from 2 towards 3. Now again, your left eye, you only need 2 steps of farsighted correction, but we're going to end up with a total combined power of -2. How do we get there? Someone borrowed 50 cents from you, then they borrowed another $1.50, they would owe you $2. By the way, this frame, the Versace 1257, sells for $270. You get 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses with that. Or if you buy lenses only, it's $49.99. The upgrade to high index 167 material is $59.99. The transitions XTRAactive in gray or brown adds $129.99, and the gold flash mirror adds $69.99 for a total of $529.97, tax-free, because I am in North Carolina. North Carolina considers eyeglasses a medical device. Imagine that. And because of that, there is no tax charge on medical devices. So if you were to buy these glasses from anyone else online outside of North Carolina, they would have to charge you tax, which would be, what is this? Let's see. By the way, you like that? A sales rep gave me a 2-pound, 6-ounce bag of M&Ms. I said, do you have peanut M&Ms? That's my wife's favorite. I'm going to see what she will do for a 2.5-pound bag of M&Ms. That's right. That's right. The candy man's coming home. So $529.97 times 7.5% tax in North Carolina. It would be another $39.75. If that's the same tax outside of my state, that is. So that just saved you about 40 bucks there when you buy your glasses from me. Dry everything off, run my thumbnail around, make sure all that is off the lens. Grab my Phillips head screwdriver. Do a little bit of lefty-loosey. Holding the frame over this tray. Tuck the lens in all the way around. Hold my thumb around it. Use my left hand to double check that the lens is in there perfectly, and it is. Tighten that up. Take this block off. Use my hand-approved drying method. Throw it back in the bin. Add to my sticker collection. We're going to come back down here to the lensometer, spin the axis wheel, the fine-tune knob to 175, put it in over that black dot. Read the power. -50, exactly halfway between 0 and 1. -50, you have 1.5 diopters of astigmatism correction. Let's check the second curve, and we're at -2. Man, this kit is good. I must have stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Your PD for your right eye is, the pupillary distance for your right eye is 33, for your left eye 34.5, for a combined value of 67.5. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb. On your right lens, when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 67.5. Man, the kit is good. Now, the optical center height, which is 23, to the middle, not the bottom of the lens, but to the middle of the metal, we're getting 23 millimeters. By the way, this is known as final inspection. 23 millimeters. I inspect everything before. Normally in the old days, your nearby optical shop would call you before I mail these to you. I want to make sure everything is perfect. By the way, this is the portion of every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that, again, free shipping anywhere in the U.S. and Ackworth, Georgia is in the U.S. But when you get these in the mail, there is a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there is an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And I'm no different. I'll show you in just a moment. But because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, when I take off my Versace's and press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. By the way, thanks to the magic of production, even though 30 minutes ago I was wearing Oakley's, I'm wearing the Versace 3245, the blue tortoise with the silver temples. I do have a few wisdom highlights coming in above my ears, and I thought that that platinum would look good with my silver highlights. I have just the Medusa emblem on here, which matches the Medusa emblem on the temple tip. Put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. But yeah, as I show you, mine wobble on the counter because I'm part of that 80%. I have one ear that's higher than the other. So that's why my glasses wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. I'm going to flip this over, press down, there is no wobble, close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly. And they do. And then neither temple is askew, with one askew meaning one side's higher than the other. Check the tension on each hinge, that is perfect. I send out a selfie request to have your picture on the website. DJ, I would love to have your picture, one with them clear inside, one with them outside where they have turned gold to match your frame, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. I also send out a cleaning instructions, not only for your frame and lenses, but on the cleaning cloth that I'm going to provide, the Versace cleaning cloth, and your case. So it too will last you for years. No other seller on the internet does that, I am told. And my fat fingers keeps leaving a smudge right there. So I field test every cleaning cloth. When you get this in the mail and you see that wrinkle, you know that it works. So I'm going to go ahead and expose them to, so indoors they have that pronounced gold. It looks like an anti-glare coating on steroids, as I call it. I have the Crisol Sapphire on my lens. It has a bluish hue to it. The gold is more pronounced indoors. And of course, I have the Versace. I still have the Transition 7 in mine that has about 3% hue indoors. The Transitions XTRAactive have about 5 to 7% while indoors. All right, again, let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and activate these, meaning I'm exposed them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. And as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now, DJ and everyone else listening, this is important. Pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks they're exposed to the sun. After that, they will work for years at maximum performance. The only time the Transition 7 and 8 do not work is if behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your interior and dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day. But these Transitions XTRAactive will get 30 to 50% dark behind a windshield. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. Having said that, the Transitions XTRAactive are designed for extra active people, hence the name, who spend extra amounts of time outside in hotter weather, so these will get darker in hotter weather. Now, when you look out, you see gray. When people look at you at certain lighting and certain angles, you will get the gold reflection to match the gold frame. That is tough. He contacted me, let me know he's thinking about getting a silver pair, and I can't wait to see what color he puts in there. Could be the silver. That would look really, really sharp. So, but then that is just great. That is just great. Man. Now, it's not like a solid gold sunglass mirror. There are times that people will see a dark lens, and that just adds to how attractive it is. As it moves, the colors change. Look, I can see my ugly mug in there. But again, when you look out, you see the gray. When people see you, they see the gold mirror. But if you like what you've seen, please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell icon so that you'll get notifications as I upload more videos. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com. On Twitter as freerxlenses. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section below, or you can email me directly through the website on the Contact Me button. So, DJ in Ackworth, Georgia, thank you so much for the purchase of the Versace 1257 in color 1436 in gold. with the Transitions XTRAactive gray lenses with the gold flash mirror. And now hopefully everyone else, by the way, there'll be a link in the description below on how to order these for yourselves if you want a pair of these. It'll take you to the website to see all the colors available. It only comes in one size, but you'll see all the available colors. And now hopefully everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.